is
Zaza. Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and
Sweet as.
Wippa.
Hey, welcome to the podcast. Wednesday. What a great day for a podcast. It's always a great day for a podcast, guys. That's why I get into it. I'll be listening to myself. Big fan of the show. Freakish deaths. I mean, I know the topic is heavy, but when you hear a story about how someone's actually died and you go, no, that hasn't happened in this world ever, but then you find out that it has. These are the stories we've got for you on the podcast today. But we want to know also, 13 24 10, if you've got a great story, or you can send us a message on our Instagram page at Fitzy and Wippa. Direct message us and tell us your freakish death stories. Keeping the mood light for a Wednesday. Enjoy the podcast.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
What I want to bring up this morning, and I know it could be tough, but I want to talk about freak deaths. Now, do you know a story of someone, maybe in the family, it could go way back, or you know of someone that you know who, unfortunately, the odds of them and the way that they passed away was really freakish? Mm-hmm. Because this is a really sad story. It happened last Wednesday over in the US. But everyone was down at the beach and a storm picked up, Sarah. Out of nowhere, the wind picked up and an umbrella travelled about 200 metres down the beach and impaled a woman in the chest. God. Unfortunately, she went to jail. She didn't go to jail.
She went to heaven.
She went to hospital and she passed away.
What a horrible way to die.
From a rogue umbrella down at the beach.
Death by brolly. You know, there'll be an inquiry and they'll end up having to make the top of umbrella points rubber from now on.
It's not a bad idea.
Thank you, mate.
But then how are you going to get them into the ground? That's the thing.
No,
it's going to be harder.
The top of the brolly.
But did the other end get
I don't know, Says. I just assumed if the wind was behind it, it would have been caught under the sail of the brolly, which would have steered the point straight into her.
Well, this has led me to some freakish deaths that were on the internet, and we spoke about the javelin. Remember the official?
Love that.
Was hit in the shoulder with the javelin. Well,
Yep.
a PE teacher over in England, he actually. One of his students, he wasn't looking, and one of his students, it's pierced him straight into the heart as well when he wasn't looking.
See, that's the thing. Was it a javelin accident, or was he just killed by a spear?
Oh,
Did one of the students just hate him and speared
They
him?
were practicing at the time.
Sure they were.
In December 1979, a 20-year-old football fan, John Bowen, over in England as well, there was a halftime exhibition. Now, it wasn't a drone because drones weren't around then, but it was flying remote control. It was the flying machines.
Yep.
One of them was a mini lawnmower, and the guy that was controlling it lost all control of the mini lawnmower, and unfortunately it went straight into John Bowen and he lost his life. How freakish is that?
John, I'm so sorry. We need to tell you that John has passed away. Oh my God, was that a heart attack? No, he was killed by a mini flying lawnmower.
1986, Basil Brown, a health food addict, drank carrot juice every day. He drank 3.78 litres of the orange stuff on a daily basis. Despite warnings about how it could be detrimental to his liver, he continued his drinking habit. Coroner reported that he drank himself to death on carrot juice.
Oh my God, that's embarrassing. Do you know, because if there's a freak accident, you want them to go, oh my God, just a victim of circumstance. That's all it was. Complete freak. When you've done it to yourself and it's death by carrot juice, you're a loser, mate.
This is the thing. It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, but don't you always make compromising food choices? Like, that chicken's a bit green, but if I cook around it...
I do a bit of that.
Yeah.
How long has that been in the fridge? Remember the guy who died from eating the pasta that was on the bench for 5 days?
It's the thing, who doesn't leave pasta on the bench?
Not for 5 days.
Well, you know what?
And he went, oh yeah, I'll eat that.
Yeah, see, so...
That's not
carrot
green on
juice
top.
guy.
What about the guy who invented the Segway?
Oh yeah.
Did he get hit by one?
No, he accidentally drove his Segway off a cliff.
He lost control of the Segway.
Why wouldn't you step off it?
He invented it, Sarah. Lost control on his own Segway that he invented and fell off a cliff.
Same as the guy that invented the Atkins diet.
Had a heart attack.
Had a heart attack and died.
That's a lot of bacon.
You know what
on
I mean? Plenty of bacon in it.
Here's a radio one for you.
Oh, yeah.
Jennifer Strange from Sacramento, California, died of water intoxication while trying to win a Nintendo Wii. Tommy's nodding his head here.
Yeah, Wii for a Wii.
Hold your Wii for a Wii. Contestants had to drink as much water as possible without going to the loo.
She hadn't had kids. You couldn't hold it.
I mean...
Well, you wouldn't have entered, Says, if you
Well, you tried,
had
but
kids.
you just wet your pants.
So she just sat there holding it in, and all of a sudden...
Poor thing.
1982.
Did she get the Wii?
Well, it doesn't matter.
No, you're right.
Well, the family did, yes.
Oh, good.
Wasn't there someone
the
who
kids
died
loved it.
in a radio stunt being stuck to an ice block? They had to hold on, sit on an
Oh.
ice cube for as long as possible.
Sleep-
Block for a block of beer.
Or
Let's
something
have a
stupid.
brainstorm about that after, Tom.
After 9, Tommy. Where do we get the ice from?
French undertaker Marc Bourget was killed when a pile of coffins at his workshop fell on top of him in 1982. Fittingly, he was buried in one of the caskets that killed him.
Awesome.
Well, it would have been evidence, though. Are you allowed to get that out?
Can
Just stack it up.
I mean, it's a tough one, Tom. You know?
Oh, how'd you die?
Let's give it a go, guys.
Freak accidents.
Yeah.
Freak accidents or deaths. If you've got any stories, 13, 24, 10.
Remember the terrible situation, but it was an aeroplane incident, and I think it might have been an Emirates craft, and it had a bad landing where maybe the landing gear didn't come down. So the tail of the plane hit the tarmac, and on impact, some people at the back of the plane, I think a girl, one or two girls, fell out the back of the aeroplane. Not what killed them. It was the fire engine racing down.
That's
After
not
the
a
plane,
true
it's
story.
true.
That is one of those
Sarah,
crappy memes.
it is
that
a
you
true
read.
story. It was the fire engine following the aircraft in case it had to act and put a fire out that ran over the girl that had fallen out of the plane. So here's a girl having a moment knowing that they're coming in for a crash landing. Then she falls out of the plane and goes, phew, got out of that one. Bang.
Oh, no, you've just made that up. But it's a good story.
Tom,
Well done.
Google that. That is a true
yeah,
story.
no,
you
it
know
is.
that's a true
Is it a
story.
true story, Tom?
Yeah, they had slid, the slides had
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah.
The plane had emergency landed, the slides had come out, and they got off safely off the plane. And then about a minute later, the fire truck cleaned them up. Yeah.
Feels like something in Final
Still
Destination.
doesn't sound right.
I went down the street with a mate one day and he had a couple of those big market umbrellas on out the front of the house. We came back and he went, someone's nicked the brollies. And the wind had picked up and it had lifted both of them up and stuck them through the tiles on the roof, through the ceiling in the house on the
Dangerous.
other side of the roof.
Jeez, that's dangerous.
Di's giving us a call from Bowral. What was the freak near-death accident, Di?
It was actually a rubbish bin that was concreted into the ground in Sydney. Went flying through the air and hit my sister on the footpath.
Oh, wow.
1993.
Is it with a huge storm? The winds picked up a
No.
huge rubbish bin?
It was actually a car accident. So a policeman went for a stoplight and hit a taxi that spun out of control and hit this garbage truck that, not garbage truck, garbage bin that was concreted in the ground. And it went flying through the air to hit my sister.
Was she okay?
My gosh.
Nearly killed her.
Wow.
So
Oh, my God,
What were
Di.
her injuries, Di?
She had spleen. Her spleen was touch and go for a long time. She has got brain damage from it, but only minor. You wouldn't know to talk to her. She's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel it, but...
God, so Di, when you talk about a garbage bin that was concreted to the ground, I'm just trying to picture, was it the
Like
one of those ones on a
public bin.
pole?
No, the ones on the
Yeah,
street.
that's right. Yeah, the steel ones are they're sitting on a pole, concreted into the ground.
Oh, man. That's
Freak
wild.
accident. Lee in Liverpool's given us a call. What was the freak death that you heard about, Lee?
We used to live in country Queensland, and there was a road we used to travel on. Never passed another car in 4 years. And one day a lady that lived on the road went to pick her kids up from school, and a car was coming the other way, hit a kangaroo, and threw the kangaroo through the woman's windscreen, and the woman was killed.
Wow, and no one drives on that road at all, Lee.
Well, you never ever saw another car.
No.
You never passed another car. This was about 30 years ago.
Gosh.
Isn't that extraordinary?
Someone finally drives on that road. I could never drive on that road after that. I would think
No.
it was cursed.
We had a family friend, and there was a situation where they were driving up a mountain, and it was similar to that in that, what do you call a group of kangaroos? A pack of kangaroos scared a woman on a horse.
Yep.
She fell off the horse. The horse bolted and ran onto the road and killed the friend of ours when the car hit the horse. The horse came through the windscreen.
What?
Wow.
Extraordinary. What is a collective noun for a...
What is it?
Yeah, it's a mob, guys.
It's a mob.
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
mob rule.
mob of kangaroos.
Yeah.
God, you learn something every day on this
I
show.
know, it's so.
I love this show.
When you're on a horse, when you see someone on a horse they can freak out so quickly, can't they? Mm-hmm. Change direction, bang, straight off the top. Coming off the top of a horse, what are you falling? You've fallen about 1 or 2 metres.
I went horse riding a while ago, and
Poor horse,
Yeah, I reckon.
far out.
Would
Was
have
it
been
a Clydesdale?
Clydesdale.
Had to be.
that's really rude, guys. It wasn't pulling a beer truck. No, it was a solid horse, though. It was called Milko. Anyway.
Oh, Kate Ritchie's imaginary friend from Home and
No,
Away.
I would never ride that. And I was there on the horse.
What's Wippa doing in the office? Oh, he's riding Wilco again.
Well, I can't see him doing anything. And I said to the lady, why do horses, buck? What happens? And she said, it's when they get a fright, when they get an instant fright. At that moment, there were 2 kangaroos going for it in a little ditch as we rode past that we didn't see. The kangaroos freaked out. One hopped off with its lipstick hanging out. And Milko.
So unnecessary.
Milko reared straight up, and I was holding on for dear life.
Oh, the man from Snowy River.
Holding on.
Yeah.
And then came back down, and it was almost like I'd earned my stripes. I'd earned my horse riding stripes, being able to hold on to Milko at that time, and I bonded with the horse. Almost whispered into its ear.
So
Got
you
any
sure?
broke back?
What a load of crap. What a
music.
load of crap.
Wait,
Phil-
what is a weird story? You went horse riding the other day?
If I...
Filled the back of my pants, says, and held on to Milko for dear life.
Do you know what would
everywhere.
have been... The best would have been if that story ended...
Yeah.
And then we could have told it by ringing in and talking about freak deaths.
No.
You falling off. It's
better when it comes from me.
Milko landing on you.
Milko and I. I'll never forget it. And you know what the lady said to me, the horse riding
Still
instructor?
going. Far out.
She said that'll be $200
For news?
for riding Milko. Because Milko's not even up for... I mean, I don't know why you're riding it. It's not like you can ride my horses. It's in my land. Can you get off, please?
It was really weird. And I copped a pretty big fine.
No, Walgan's just down the road. I'm here with the family. I just thought I'd ride.
Ready to make up for missed holidays with whatif.com?
Gotta love an Aussie winter getaway, but bring on spring.
Jump on the What If app to book hotels, holiday rentals, flights and more.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
Can we talk about Corey Norman? Now, he was in the NRL for a while. His resume's not too good at the moment. Well, he had to leave the NRL. He was going to be the next big thing, Corey Norman. He's a great player. Played for Brisbane, Parramatta, St George. But
Why did he leave?
Well, he got into trouble. He got into trouble quite a few times. He likes to party, Corey.
He didn't buy a house and get emotional on the day, feel sick and go into a cubicle with a mate.
No, he didn't. Actually, Tony Squires had a good one last night where he said that Newcastle's season has gone down the toilet and Kalen Ponga was just in there trying to find it.
Doing his bit for the club.
But he has had to move when you're a bit of a party boy and the NRL don't really want you anymore. The best place for you to go is Toulouse over in France, and you can go and party over there. But he's playing at the moment, so he's playing for Toulouse over there. And unfortunately, he's been done during the game for tackling an opposition player and doing a hopawati. Bit of a finger up the bums there.
Stinky pinky.
Now, Hopper got done 11 weeks. Well, there was a few indiscretions before that. But look, it's a hard one because when you are tackling a player on the ground... No. But Hopper was on the ground looking up and he put his finger straight up the clack.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Corey Norman's sort of tackling from behind Sarah, so he's grabbing the guy's bum. Maybe your whole hand, I don't know. Sometimes the gates of hell could be there. You don't know they
You've
are.
got to really get your hand at an angle to get someone in the bottom.
It's a full hook around.
Yeah.
If you were to reach around like that,
Yeah, you would.
to do the reach around like that, and you've got arms going around and hands onto the butt cheeks, to actually dig one in
It's very
is a
conscious.
complete extra effort to make that hook into the hole.
Well, the opposition player that he did it to, Warrington's Oliver Holmes, they were a bit back and forth having a go at each other. And I think Corey's just gone, well, I'll just give you one quick little one up the clacker just to show that I'm ready to play today.
You're on?
And unfortunately, it could cost him 8 weeks minimum if he gets found guilty.
Okay, how do they...
I don't know, just, the thing...
is there video evidence, or do they...
Oh, of course
what
there
other
is.
evidence would
Well,
you have?
That's the thing, you can't go in close.
No.
I just don't understand. The thing with Hopper as well, that over the years, it was a pretty serious act what he did, but it's still laughed about. Like, Hopper played a charity game a few years ago and played the game with a glove on.
Okay.
As long as he's laughing.
So that's his thing, is it? So he goes, guys, that was me. If anyone forgot, by the way, I'll be wearing a glove today. Just to let you know, I might not limit it to one finger.
See, the thing is, though, no one would have a go. No one would have a go at him about it, though, because Hopper's such a menacing character.
The guy overseas in France, how did he react? Was he did he tighten up and
No,
sit
he
straight?
didn't. He was actually fine.
So they're catching up for a drink?
No, it was one of his teammates who said to the ref straight away, did you see that? You can't do that. And the ref brought it in and said, all right, you're on report.
Show
Now
us
they're
your
going to
finger.
go and investigate it a little bit more. It's just full on. Tommy, come over here. I want to see how hard it is to do.
Such a strange move
Isn't
to
it?
actually make that effort. The Hopper one, you're right, though, Fitz. It's like he's noticed a target coming down at him, and he went, I know exactly what to do here.
The other thing is, all right, here's a couple of questions.
Go on.
Hard to do.
Hard to do.
Second of all, does it put a player off?
Oh,
What
yeah.
do you reckon, Fitz? How do you feel? Bend over.
But is it going to affect them for the rest of the game?
Yep. You're running around going, what does the footage look like of me getting a finger up the
No,
bum?
but it's like
No,
when
it
you go
hurt,
get a
though.
prostate check or something like that. It's not like you walk away and go, oh,
No.
Jesus, I can't play footy for the next
No, but I
week.
went in there and I expected that because I knew what I was getting. I
Yeah.
just got tackled and someone shoved their finger up my bum. I'm in shock.
You know, but they do it as a tactic to try to put the opposition
You would
off.
put them off.
How would that
I'd be thrown by that.
If
I
you're
don't know.
if you're
There's
saying
now a hole in my undies.
during a break, Whip walked over to you, and just before we went to air, he did exactly that. Then the mics came on. You wouldn't be a little bit rattled?
How would you be till 9 o'clock?
You know how much of a professional I am, and I would continue with the show and say, Whip, that was disgusting.
Well, Tommy's handed me a
I
glove.
didn't really feel anything. Have another go.
Thanks, mate. How was the...
Jeez.
I said 2, not 1. All right, $1,000, guys.
Smart
we move
funny.
on. Smart Funny is the hashtag for the show.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Massive debate raged online last night. A breakup, a couple completely in love have decided not to go to the church. Well, it wasn't his decision, it was her decision. After the Buck revealed that at the Bucks party, he received a lap dance from a lady.
Is a lap dance pants on or off?
It depends on the package, I would suggest that you've...
on, Sarah, isn't
But
it?
that's what a lap dance
for.
generally is.
I think I've
Both-
seen both. I think I've
But
witnessed-
both people have pants on?
The guy normally has... Yeah, he's the guy who's sort of a little bit reluctant to sit in the chair in the middle of the guys that are cheering, and then the girl comes out, does a bit of a dance, and he's made to feel like a bit of a fool, and maybe there's some cream or some strawberries involved. So
It's the last taste of independence, isn't it?
How it's meant to
that's
be.
what they're supposed to say. The ones that I went to, it was always it's humorous. It's like you're trying to sort of make them squirm before they get married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's lucky I got that word right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you were so close.
Very, very careful. You stumbled at the start, but no, my mind ran. But, a mate of mine, Robbie Long, he used to get furious because, Man Mountain. Yeah, Man Mountain. 2 occasions, because he's a big guy, Man Mountain.
Is that how he got the nickname?
Yeah, he got
Right,
picked
okay.
on, and the girl that had been hired as entertainment, took off his belt, took off his shirt, and put it around his neck and marched him around like a dog. And Man Mountain was not happy.
That is wrong.
He's yelling out, phones down, fellas.
Well, that's
He
'cause
wasn't happy at all.
it's shocking.
He's still
for
getting
dogs
over
as well out there as well. They don't want to be associated with that crap.
A little bit different. Normally they're going to the park for a good time. Rob was getting nothing but laughter from his mates. Anyway, this woman has said, I'm not going to marry you because you got a lap dance. It's raged online. One person has said, I completely agree. He paid for a woman's body. That's the man that you're about to marry. Do you want to do that? Others said, no, it's tradition. It's a bit of a laugh. Another one said, how would you feel if it was on the other foot? Say, in my situation, if Lisa was to get a lap dance from a male stripper, would I care? No.
Do you know, the only thing I think partners want, right, and this is what BJ likes, she goes, all I want you to do is just tell me. Because I always feel like whenever I haven't been to one for a while, but when I do, I'm like
About a week now?
I don't think she needs to know. Well, I had to go in and pay my rent, but she just goes, why can't you just tell me? And I'm like, well, I don't think you need to know. Like, there's nothing.
It's that fine line between feeling like you've been lied to or deceived versus I actually don't need to know all that information about what you did on a Bucks
Well,
night.
that's right.
Because you didn't hurt anyone.
Yeah, you don't need to go into graphic details about what happened.
Do you know what we did as well when we started getting real close? BJ and we combined not just bank accounts, but we combined iClouds. So her her photos combined with my photos. So we've got all our photos together now of the kids, family, and all this kind of
Because
stuff.
you can't undo that. You can't say, honey, I think we should...
And I love going back and looking at old photos. And there's a period there where one of her good friends, Claire, had a hen's night. And I've got this nude guy. There's always a moment in my photo album where I just get to this section of a nude guy.
Oh, there's Steve
just
again.
all over Claire.
Damn.
I don't want to be a
see
part of that.
That's it. You know what's even more awkward at a Bucks party? Is when, and the crowd gets behind it, it's when they bring the dads in. You know, the dad of the bride who's there at the Bucks party quite often, or the groom's dad.
What, to do a lap dance?
No,
Oh,
not
see?
to do a
Oh,
lap
right.
dance. Hey, give your son a show. No, when they bring the girl in and the dad gets involved and he's like, oh, guys, it's not my day. I'm past all this. Oh, put cream on his hand.
That's not what John's reaction was at yours.
Do you know what?
I mean, I've never seen a man at that age hang off the roof like that.
We've spoken
without any
about
clothes
this.
on.
Remember, there were two girls serving drinks at my Bucks party, and it didn't go much further than that. But these girls were in bikinis, and I'll never forget standing there listening to John chat to one of these girls.
Yeah,
and it was about university.
About their future,
yeah,
yes.
about university. There's some fantastic courses out there. What are you interested in travel, are you? Well, travel's a lot cheaper than it used to be, and exploring the world is exciting, and there's some fantastic travel employment opportunities.
Well, he was-
He's a sweetie.
John, stop staring at her boobs.
He was networking and he gave her some great contacts.
He did.
They've been close ever since.
Yeah, and Sarah was the other one. And thank you again, Sarah, for helping out on the day.
All right, we're off to Venice
I'm
later.
sorry Dad was in your ear. I said
Please,
ear.
my ear. Yeah.
That
That's
ain't-
nice. Not in the national, Tom.
Leave that out of the national, Tom. John will be tuning in and Mum loves the podcast.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
We like the Life Improver. How good's the Life Improver? Oh yeah, the Life Improver. Your Life Improver!
I'm married to a lady by the name of Belinda Fitzgerald. She's improved my life. She's been a great life hack for me.
in a big way.
Around about 16 years ago. But she has come up with a beauty. You know how we're having a bit of a problem with ambulances at the moment? And obviously there's a shortage of stuff. I understand that. But a lot of people have to wait a long time for an ambulance to get to them. She said, why can't we have an Uberlance?
Uber ambulance.
So you know where the ambulance is and you can see and track it and see how far away they are.
Oh, I thought you meant get Norm down the street to drive you.
Yeah, I did too. Wouldn't you just get in the Uber to go to the ambulance?
Can't we? No, this is the thing. You know that they can't give you a time of how far away the ambulance is.
And you're back there just coming as quick as possible.
It's on its way. It's on its way. If you could track it somehow and say, okay, it says here, oh no, it's at a bloody traffic light.
What about this, though? If you're down the street and you've done a paramedics course like yourself, Tommy, but you're not actively working as a paramedic because entertainment needs you.
Yeah, entertainment.
Entertainment, if you're into entertainment, stick around.
You
But
should be an
wouldn't it be
After
great?
9.
You should be an entertainment paramedic.
You could, Tommy, right, have a light that goes on the top of your car. You've got a paramedic sort of license, an Uber paramedic license, and you could be on call, right? They just pay you. The state pays you to be on call, and then you get paid extra when you pick up Darren who can't breathe because he's got chest pain down the street.
It means I couldn't be in the office with you guys as much. I mean, that'd be a real
I'll do it.
shame. Says is up. They actually have that in Melbourne. They have a Good Samaritan program.
Do they?
And you register on an app if you're a first aid trained, and then what they do is they send out an alert if the ambulance can't get there in time, and all the Good Samaritans
Hold
rock up.
up.
That's a
So
great
you
idea.
hit the ground and you go, oh no, I've got a good Samaritan coming. I actually want someone with
yeah,
a medical
yeah.
degree. Go away, go away.
Yeah, but he did help a lady who had fallen over once. So
That's
Good
right.
Samaritan and picks up rubbish.
Kelly in Mount Annan, what's your life hack, Kel?
So now that we can all travel again, you know how you get your bags weighed, and we always stress about being over. Pop your foot under the bag, and that sort of takes a bit of the weight,
Mate of mine, Todd, used
and then you're safe.
Kelly, a mate of mine, Todd, used to work in the meat section of the deli. And when I would go and say, hey, give us 700 grams of ham, he'd just tuck his finger under the scales and just
Perfect.
really lighten
You
the
need
load.
more ham.
Really lighten the
He's
load
saving
there.
an extra 80 cents there.
And I would get it for free, Kelly.
I disagree with that one, Kel. The tough thing is because if you're lifting up your bag with your foot, you know, the scales would be picking up that it's going up and down. For you to actually plateau it out and get the actual weight, it'd be very hard to balance that on your foot.
Practice at home beforehand.
Well done, Kel.
Really good point,
Well done.
Kel.
All right, let's go to Sue now in Lane Cove. Sue, what did you want to say?
Oh, hi. the best way to heat up leftover pizza is my life hack. So basically, you get a fry pan, you heat it up really hot, put no oil, no butter, whack your pizza on, and then put a lid on it, and it's perfect. It comes out like it's just come from the restaurant.
Crispy. So do you put it on the base? You don't put it on, you don't turn it over and put it on the top. You put it on the base.
You put it on the base so that your base becomes really crispy.
Wow. Oh, my God. How are you not on my kitchen rules, Sue?
Double frying your pizza.
That's awesome stuff.
It's the best. You'll never go back to the microwave heating up a pizza.
Tommy, call Nigella immediately.
Oh, yeah, well, she'll take my call.
Soggy pizza. There's nothing worse, is there?
Love it.
Gabby in Forestville. Life hack, Gab.
Morning, guys.
Hi.
Hey, Gabby.
I have a life hack to change your breakfast.
Talk me through it.
Okay, so you get a ripe banana. You mash that ripe banana and mix it with 2 eggs. You fry it, and believe it or not, you get like the best banana pancakes. That's it.
I did see something about that online as well. You can add oats if you want as well to thicken it up.
No flour?
What?
No flour, no. And it actually puffs up from the eggs. It is delicious.
I've never heard of anything like
Good for the kids because there's no sugar in it.
Do the kids love it, Gab?
Well, I don't have any kids, but my partner loves it. I love it, and it's like 30 seconds and you got breakfast done.
I'm stuck with mashing the banana. How do you do that? With a fork?
With a fork, yeah. You just get a fork.
Seriously?
Yeah. Like,
So out of touch,
am I
man.
mashing or blending the banana?
There is another life hack. There's a thing that's been invented called a fork.
No, Gab, I'm just thinking I want my cleanup to be easy as well. Like these sorts of hacks need to come with a simple process the entire way through. Don't just give me the end result.
Gosh.
And I don't want to do
Just
any extra
pay
work.
someone else around the house to do it
It's
for
not a
you,
bad
mate.
idea.
Rosie in the Shire, what's your life hack?
Morning, guys. This is not a good segue, but number 2. So you do number 2.
Yeah.
Someone's house, they've got no fancy spray.
Yes. Yep.
You basically pour a load of the hand soap into the basin, turn on the hot water, and then the steam coming off it produces a lovely smell. And voila.
Oh, that's not bad.
And the whole bathroom is beautiful.
That
No one
is-
knows the wiser.
That is good because when you're at a house party, there's nothing worse. My old man tells a story how he was flirting with a girl at a house party and started feeling a bit crook.
Mick Fitzgerald.
And then when he opened the door afterwards, she was first in line to get into the toilet.
And he just
Completely
murdered it.
ruined the night. And he's been with Mum ever since. It's been an amazing story.
Her sinuses were playing up and everything worked out perfectly.
Okay, so a heap of hand soap, hot water, steam.
Burning a match used to be a very popular way to do it. And that's
It's always sus though when you go in with the matches.
You can smell
smells
the
like an
match.
inferno, yeah.
See, this is a real tough one today.
Oh, I think I like Gabby's. The banana pancakes. That was pretty good.
We should try that.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Oh, my God. Thank you.
Tommy, find a couple of eggs, find a banana. I'll see if I can find a fork.
Yeah. All right.
Well done, Gabby. You've won a double pass to the Hendrix Gin, a Journey Most Unusual event at the Palisade Hotel. Enjoy, Gab.
We like the life improver. How good's the life improver? Oh yeah, the life improver. Your life improver.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
What record do you still have? Is it long jump?
Yeah. You have the long jump record at 4 metres 73
That's under 9
centimetres. That was under 9s.
What I've organised is an athletics track and a long jump pit for next Wednesday. Pat McGregor from Little Athletics. Hello, Pat.
We've got some of the best jumpers in the state right now to try and beat Fitzy's record. They've been training all off-season now, and they're really keen to get it beat.
It's a long way, mate. 4.73 metres is one hell of a launch for an under-9s kid. Your dad was there having a couple of tinnies. We saw that photo of you. Go to our Instagram page of you actually airborne in that moment in your very short shorts.
I had a lot of pimples on my back as well with
That's okay,
the
mate.
anabolic steroids I was taking at the time.
Oh,
but it
jeez.
was,
He's absolutely ripped for an under-9s.
I was the size of Ben Johnson. But geez, it was an amazing day.
Huge moment for the Fitzgerald family, and then a photo was taken in front of the trophy cabinet to celebrate the moment. 36 years it's been, and this is still a national record in the under-9s. Now, yesterday on the show we said there needs to be a deal here, that if someone in this state can come out and break this standing record of 36 years, that you will not talk about sport and your sporting achievements on this show ever again, because this is what we cop.
I was on the bench for the first quarter. Andrew Dunkley, he had to come off with a blood raw. I ran straight onto the ground. I marked the ball, turned around and kicked my first goal in the first 10 seconds. The rest of it was a blur. Bolts and I, and Jude and I lived together. Over 300 games between us and 2 premierships. A lot of people don't talk about that fact.
Not many duos can talk about that, can they?
No.
This record that I was holding with 3 other players, it was career goals without kicking a behind, all right? I was on 11 with Zach Merritt and Will Snelling for such a long time.
You guys may have noticed that I've been limping over the last month or so. The ACL graft has ruptured. You're only allowed to swim, row, cycle, and I'm sorry to tell you this, Fitzy, but you are never allowed to run again. When I was a young fella and first played for the Swans, we were at a pub and Wayne Carey rocked up. I said, can I get you a beer? And he said, you know what, can you actually get some money out for me? He gave me his PIN number, went into his account. There was over $200,000 in there, sir.
And that was the first time you saw what a successful footballer could actually be.
No more sports stories, mate. We've heard them all.
Haven't signed anything, mate. I can do whatever I want.
I mean, someone said, where were we the other day? And someone yelled out, 6 on debut. And you went, no, mate, it was 5.
Yeah.
No. You've heard it enough. There's been enough talk of 5 on debut.
Yeah.
So if this record is broken, you've got to sign that document to say you will never tell another sports story on the show.
I've got a really good feeling that this is going to get broken next week.
You keep saying that like it's a setup, and we're trying to tell you this is not a setup. Do you think things in radio are construed?
Yeah, I've got it. I don't know. There's
game have
something
you been
inside
playing?
of me that
Hang on, we never had Matt Damon on the show. Not everything's set
No,
up.
it's not, mate.
Yeah.
Sometimes we try and we don't get there.
Without wanting to sort of discuss
Jump in,
the
mate.
actual nature of the long jump.
Yep, long jump
Over
in.
the past 30 years, Olympic records get broken because the human body evolves, training gets better.
Yeah.
People get faster and stronger. Surely that's happened at an under-16s level as well. And the fact that it hasn't been broken is remarkable, but it's time.
Well, no, this is... But see, kids don't develop. This is the thing. You know, at that age, when it's under 9s...
You're asking for evolution in 36 years to grow.
I am.
It's impossible.
Is it?
Unless you find a child who does... I hit puberty at the age of 7 or 8.
That was me.
That could have...
Well, but hang on, wouldn't that have been you as well? Otherwise, you were so tall.
No, he was small. He was a springboard.
I was the opposite.
He could fly through the air. Yesterday, Pat from Little Athletics, we spoke to him. He said he's trying to rally about the 10 of the best under 9s to take part in this. And one man who's called the show is Ethan from Maroubra. Welcome to the show, Ethan.
Good morning, Fitzy and Wippa. Thank you for having me on your show today.
Great
Ethan.
manners, Ethan.
Brilliant manners. What is your local Little Athletics club, Ethan?
I've been doing Little Athletics for 4 years with Randwick Botany Club, and last season I won 4 gold state medals in long jump, 70 metres, 100 metres, and 200.
Congratulations,
Ethan is
mate.
well
done.
established.
I mean, would you have been confident? I mean, I think there's only 4 that you can compete in these days. Was there any other events that you may have gone close to getting a gold in that you were confident in, Ethan?
No, not really.
No, not really.
Ethan, can we ask, would you know what your personal best is at this moment for the long jump?
4 metres.
4 metres.
See, on a good day, Ethan, with the crowd clapping,
And the wind behind you.
and the next thing you know, Ethan launches. Maybe he just ticks over that 73 mark. 4 metres to 474 is what we need from you, Ethan.
Could you do it?
Could you do it, Ethan?
I'll try my best and see what happens.
And you can't ask any more, Ethan. Can you be there next Wednesday and have a crack?
Yes.
Oh,
You're
yes.
a superstar, mate.
Ethan, who is your inspiration? Is there a hero, an athlete that you really, really like?
Usain Bolt.
Oh, Usain Bolt,
Yeah.
yes.
What a gift that man is.
I have been compared
to... Well, you ran against him once, didn't you?
No, so Ethan, you're 9 years of age, is that correct?
Yes.
Yep, so that makes you under 10.
So we'll check the date. We'll check your birth date, Ethan. The fact that you're on the show, Ethan, means the checks behind the scenes would have already been done, so there's no question about your age.
You're not going quietly, are you, Fitz?
eligible.
Holding on to it.
Eligible for next Wednesday.
You might be able to break it, but not confirmed.
Oh, see you next week, buddy.
Ethan.
The Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
The story of little Brooklyn has really touched the hearts of everyone in Sydney, and we want to thank everyone for their support. Started a GoFundMe page, over 100,000. We've got 120,000 now, which is
extraordinary.
crazy.
Thank you, Sydney.
We didn't even think we were going to get to 10,000, but the support for little Brooklyn, he walked his auntie down the aisle last weekend for her wedding as well.
That was beautiful.
Which was beautiful, but a man got involved on the GoFundMe page. His name is Greg, and he joins us now. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Fitzy and Wippa. How are you?
Good, mate. You were moved by the story of Brooklyn?
Yeah, moved by the story of Brooklyn. One of our members here at the Camden Air Activities Centre raised it with us, and we decided to help him out, and we hung out with him last Sunday, and took him for a flight in one of our aeroplanes.
Oh,
I love that.
Oh, Greg, how was his reaction to it, Greg?
Look, I think he was a little overawed by it, or it was either my flying or the bumps that was up there, but he was pretty quiet throughout, but I did spy him staring out the window.
You know what was amazing?
He had a pretty good time.
Greg, when you look at Brooklyn's situation, and he's got a challenge on his hands, and for his mum and dad, it's a very special time because we don't know how long Brooklyn has. But when we're talking about, the donations and the generosity, for the family, that's one thing, but just being able to offer experiences to put a smile on his face and for the parents to have those memories was sort of the important point and where the efforts needed to be made. So giving him that opportunity is really special, Greg.
Yeah, well, that's what we're all about here at Camden. We're here to help people in distress. Unfortunately, my wife's mother passed away with blastoma, so I have some experience with what Brooklyn's going through, and your heart just goes out for him.
Well done, Greg. I mean,
awesome, Greg.
It's opportunities like this in people's lives, and it's funny, things that touch you in your lives, and we find ourselves so busy and stressed out all the time, but when you see a video like little Brooklyn's, Greg, it changes you, doesn't it? And you want to get involved.
Well, absolutely, and you guys have absolutely led the way. 100,000 plus GoFundMe. Outstanding result. Just want to say well done, boys.
No, very kind, Greg.
Well done to you.
And, we handed the keys over to the city. Brooklyn is set for a great adventure. He's off to Luna Park. He's doing a whole heap of things. Off to the aquarium. He'll have a great time.
Yeah, well done. Thank you, Greg, for your call.
The Fitzy and Wippa Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.